Hi, welcome to Lady Yeti's Kitchen. So today's recipe is fish sweet potato pie. So over here I have 2 cups of flour. I'm shifting the flour and I'm adding 3 tablespoons of sugar. You could increase your sugar or you could decrease your sugar. It's up to you. And I'm adding teaspoon of baking powder, half teaspoon of salt, and I'm grating the nutmeg. Nutmeg enhances the flavor of your pie. Any pie you make, it just gives it this nice taste. So you want to mix this together as much as you can. So 15 minutes before I start mixing the flour, I already cut my butter into pieces and I put it in the freezer. So before you start mixing your flour, 15 minutes earlier, you want to cut your butter into pieces and put it in the freezer. You want it to be chilled a little bit. The reason why is because whenever you are making biscuits or any pie, a chilled butter give it a nice texture. So that is the reason why I'll put it in the freezer earlier, 15 minutes earlier, and take it out when you are mixing your flour. So it's gonna take you a bit time to mix it up together, but it's worth it. So over here I have 1 egg and I have 1/4 cup of milk. I'm using canned milk. You could do you could use any milk that you prefer, but whenever I'm making a pie, I like to use canned milk. You could use any canned milk of your choice. So you want to mix this together. You want a nice texture. At this point, you don't want to add any flour. The 2 cups is okay. So you just want to mix this together, and you could see the texture is very soft, and you want to put it back in the fridge because you don't want the butter to melt away. You want to put it in the fridge to be chilled. So back to the filling. So over here I have a vegetable oil and I'm adding a chopped onion. So you want to you could increase your onion, you could decrease it, it's up to you. And I'm adding bell pepper. You could use any pepper of your choice, but I prefer to use bell pepper. So you want to mix this together. You could add salt or a little bit of seasoning. So over here I'm adding aroma seasoning just a little bit, just to enhance the flavor. That's all. If you are not comfortable with that, you could use salt. It's okay. So you want to mix this together. So before I start mixing the dough, I already boiled my fish and potato. So you want to debone it. You want to make sure you take the bone out. You don't want anybody to choke while eating your fish pie. So debone it and mix it together. And also I already boiled the sweet potato, and you could use a spoon or fork to mash it together. And that is what you're seeing right there. You just want to mix this together, and when it's finished you want to put it back in the fridge. The reason why is because it's too hot right now, and when you put it in your dough, you don't want everything to fall apart. So you just want to put it in the fridge and just to let it cool a little bit, or you make it a little bit there, or you want to make it earlier. If you make it earlier, then you don't have to put it back in the fridge. So over here I'm just dusting the powder on the surface of the board, and the dough is pretty chill right now, and you want to just roll it flat as much as you can. So you might be saying, oh, 1 cup of butter. So butter is what make your pie. Any pie that you make, if you want a good texture, you want to chill your butter, and butter is what to make your pie different than the others. So whenever you are making pie, it's require butter. Whether you are making biscuits, it's require butter, and you might use a little bit more butter than any other baking that you are baking. So So over here I'm just brushing the edges with the egg because you want it to be sealed properly. You don't want it to fall out. That is the reason why I'm putting the eggs, brushing the eggs to the edges. So, and you want to pull back your filling and you want to put it in one side so that it will be easier for you to roll. You roll in, you push in and you roll out. So over here I'm just adding the filling into it, and you just roll it in and push it out. So that's it. That is how you make your pie. It's pretty simple and delicious. So you might be wonder why um sweet potato in the fish pie. The reason is that I don't like food to be waste. I don't like wasting food in my house. So whenever I have a leftover, I always have to create one recipe to make with it because I don't like throwing food away. So over here you just want to cut your pie into the pieces that you desire, and you put it in the tray, and that's it. And I'm gonna do the second dough that I cut and repeat the same process. So, like I was saying, you might be saying, why sweet potato? I don't like wasting food. So, one day I have sweet potato in the house and I want to make fish pie. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna throw this potato away. So I boil it, same process that I did, and I did it, and it tastes so delicious and so good. So since then, whenever I want to make fish pie, I always like to add sweet potato to it because it tastes good. Since that time, I've hooked up, and whenever I make my fish pie, I always like to make it this way. So that is the reason. You could try it if you like it. If you don't like it, it's all good. And if you don't want to put potato, you could only use your fish and add some sauce to it, whatever way you like it. It's all good. It's you, whatever you prefer, you do. So same process. You roll it in and out, and that's it. So you want to cut it into the pieces, whatever desire. If you have kids in the house, you may have to cut it a little bit small, but this is the size that I prefer for today. And you want to put this in the oven and bake for 20 to 25 minutes. It's depend on your oven. You want to bake on 350 Fahrenheit. So over here you just want to use eggs to brush the dough to give it a nice look. So just use egg to brush the dough, and that's it. So you put it in the oven 20 to 50 20 20 to 25 minutes, 350 Fahrenheit, and that is it. Trust me, this dough is so delicious. This pie is so delicious. And here you have it. You could see the texture. You could see the texture. Like, the texture is so good, so delicious. Thanks you for watching.